I'm Brause, and I am the Executive Director of BARCS. Basically, I oversee the entire operation of the shelter and the growth of the shelter. Do you guys want to go back and see some of the animals? Yes! We take in about 12,000 animals a year, and we are open admission, which means we do not turn away any animals. Everything that needs a place to go, we're here to take it. So this shelter was operated by the City of Baltimore. In about 2002 and 2003, there was a lot of public pressure to change how the shelter was operating. The reason for that is because of the 12,000 to 13,000 animals at that time that the shelter was taking in, 98% of those animals were euthanized every year. The shelter was grossly underfunded. There were very minimal adoptions. So with that public pressure, the health department decided to allow the shelter to break away and become a nonprofit organization. And so that's where I come in. When I came down, I was horrified. The animals were clean while they were in their cages, so the floors were very wet all the time. There were roaches that were literally climbing up the walls and over the walls and into their food dishes. It was a very bad situation, and the facility was just not well cared for. It took about 2 of the hardest years of my life to really get in here and start making changes to the shelter. There was a lot of pushback. I had started a rescue program where I asked rescue groups to come to the shelter, and I had workers at that time who would take those animals and go to the euthanasia room and try to euthanize them before I could get them out to a rescue. You need manpower to make change, and so I started a volunteer program. And there were a lot of limitations. Dogs still couldn't go outside for walks. Cats couldn't come out of their cages to be interacted with. It was obvious that things had to change quickly. We ended up getting on a food program so they had consistent diets. We started promoting animals for adoption, and along with that, some education on proper ownership. And little by little, we started to get some momentum to create change. Over time, the city started to see it for what it was, and we ultimately turned the shelter into a nonprofit organization and hired people that wanted to be here, that wanted to make a difference.
I'm Brian George. I'm the Enrichment Training Coordinator here at BARC, and I've been here for about 9 years.
Hi, I'm Debbie Rawl, and I'm Director of Special Projects.
Bailey Deacon, and I am the Director of Communications here at BARCS.
Matt Fazzino, I am the Training and Enrichment Manager here at BARCS.
I'm Jean Summers, and I teach new volunteers an orientation class. We started with BARCS as one of the first volunteers in 2005. It's just exciting to be in on the ground level of a brand new place.
You have passionate people and you're given a situation like that, you're going to think outside the box. So we have programs now that we help people to keep their pets in various ways, whether we're providing food to them because they can't afford food or basic medical procedures. We also provide high volume spay-neuter for outdoor cats, so we have a huge trap-neuter return program. We also have increased our volume for adoption by doing a lot of off-site adoption events.
Every mega adoption event we've done, we haven't left with a single animal afterwards, so it's a pretty exciting program that we have and a way to kind of clear the shelter every once in a while.
We have a working cat program which we started where we try to get cats out into barns or businesses. We have cats that they're not maybe suited to be indoor cats.
We also focus a lot on what we do with the animals in the shelter. So while they're here, we want to make sure that they have a very healthy stay and make it as less stressful as possible.
So we offer complimentary training for all of our adopted dogs. They're one-on-one sessions. We have a group class as well, and we have socialization sessions as well.
Some of our cats that are really shy, really not coming out of their shell, we work with the Jackson Galaxy program where we're working on various training with those cats to help them to feel more comfortable in their environment. And then we have programs with our dogs.
The play group is part of the enrichment program. I consider it the best enrichment program that we have.
Have things like pack walks where we have volunteers come in and take the dogs and they all take them for a long hike.
You know, when I first got to BARCS, we had a lot more challenges of people not understanding the work that we were trying to do, and just through telling our stories on social media, we've turned that around.
But we're at the point now where we're getting 10, 12, 13-year-old cats adopted. A lot of it has to do with our social media programs, which we didn't have in the past.
When the animals come in here and you see these little guys and they're looking at you, you're all they have. It really drives us to keep going, to keep fighting, to get that animal into a great new home.
I think BARCS has the best story. We came from 2%, we're saving nearly 90% now, and everything in between that got us there is an important piece of what this shelter is.
So now when you come to the shelter, you'll see volunteers in all areas, you see staff everywhere, you see people walking dogs, playing with the cats. It's a much different atmosphere now than what it was back then. It's been a long, hard road every step of the way.
Baltimore is a tough city. We have a lot of homeless animals here, but what we have more of is people who are good.
All right, you ready to go? Yeah. All right, let's go. Right. Let's get her home. Our building might be old, there's not much to it, it's not pretty, but the heart and soul of the people that are here, that's huge.
It's been a labor of love seeing the place grow and just become what it is today, which is a wonderful shelter for the animals.
I don't feel like just a volunteer, I feel like I'm part of the family.
Fred, I can't go anywhere without my BARCS stuff on and have someone not say, oh my gosh, I love BARCS, do you work at BARCS? And tell me all about it.
Having the opportunity to come down here and make even a bigger difference in the lives of animals in our city has been really rewarding.
The one thing that I'm most proud of is that we are making a difference. And it's the community helping to make that happen by coming together and saving lives.
Good luck and call us